Yeah, you ain't sticking that in my hair.
No, it's good. You're good. It goes great with your belt.
That does look good.
It goes
just all up in your sparkling.
Queen Tad.
You never be a pageant queen. Just
I don't
say
need to
this,
be on
Todd.
video.
I'm Tad.
Todd, I just need that.
He looks like the Queen of England.
I'm Tad.
Put your fingers
If we can
together.
figure out how to put that little
there you
world
go.
atmosphere behind
Dude,
you,
no
right
doubt.
there.
Yeah, we need
Only
that
guy
world.
with it.
Yeah, the only
You be
one
the
that
only
has
one
it.
with it.
The only one that has it.
Worldwide. Hey, speaking of worldwide, I talked to him
Every
today.
beer.
Worldwide called me today.
You need some wine. A wine.
Yeah, why not?
That dude, what he
one of those
texted
big
us the
ones.
other day, and like that's all he did was text one thing. I was texting stuff
Yeah.
trying to get a reaction out of him,
That
and
was
couldn't
it.
get nothing. Couldn't
I
get
know.
nothing.
I didn't call. He called. So I'm sitting in today, I'm editing a video for YouTube, and my phone starts jingling over there, and you know, I look over there, and it says worldwide on it. And I was like, man,
Oh my
I ain't
God,
seen
that is
that thing in
real.
a while.
I mean,
Guess what he was
wow.
doing? Guess what he was doing? Give you one guess.
YouTube. Oh, it is in his hot tub.
Nope. He's calling me. I ain't talked to him in forever. What's he calling about?
Garments?
He's got a derby. He's practicing.
Oh, no way.
He's on Grand Lake. I was like, what up? We talked about some stuff.
Were you allowed to?
Yeah, he's fishing a team tournament.
Oh, that kind of
By special
derby.
request.
Yeah, him and Scanlon are fishing a team derby.
That's for you.
There you go. Here.
Queen Todd. Queen Tad.
I got talked into all this stuff.
Hey, he took us here.
This is
Hey,
our
listen to me. You travel with a sparkly belt. You deserve to be treated like royalty in our house.
This is only at Hallman's.
Yeah.
This is what happens at Hallman stays at Hallman's.
Do y'all all want you to pay for this?
Dude, I think I'm drinking out of this the whole time.
So yeah.
Yeah, your house is getting brought up.
Like, I didn't have to go around.
No, I'm good though.
All right, just check.
You've got a freaking.
Hey, do we need to move your chair over
He's
here?
got
by
a 9-foot long street light in his house. I mean, look at that thing.
It's not even appropriate.
He's got a street light in his house.
That's pretty cool though.
I assume that's on.
How would you turn all the lights off in here?
Hey, watch this.
I feel like it would be an absolute
How did
chore.
he get one light in the Sistine Chapel to come on, but not the rest of them? Do they all have individual switches?
Your father is about to kill you.
No, they're burned out.
No, I'm talking about, see that one on the Sistine Chapel? The other 4 ain't working.
They're burned out.
You're gonna have to call up freaking Van Gogh to freaking get up there and go get it.
He has me.
Van Gogh.
The Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. What is it? Did he paint?
Yeah, he was playing. I think he was the one that cut his ear off and said to his
Yeah.
girlfriend. It's kind of shit.
How would you
Todd
cut
did.
your ear?
You don't know about that? Oh my gosh, do y'all didn't learn anything in school? Tarkington.
Hey, we didn't all make A+ in art like some people here.
Yeah, that's true, I did.
Nerd.
I did make it.
I bet you would have really enjoyed our art class at Ekenpill.
I went to Cold Spring.
No, it's worse.
No, it was good. Like, my teacher let me do anything I wanted to.
No, ours.
Is that thing rolling?
Oh, it's been.
It's
Yeah,
been
I figured.
rolling. It's dirty. It's been riding dirty. It was through.
Your wife gives me, and I really have to drink out of this fruit.
You deserve to drink it.
you-
Anybody that
you
carries that
drink it
belt
out.
around.
It would be rude not to.
What?
Your belt.
Well, she seen who the feminine was, so she went straight
The,
to you.
the feminine? the feminine. That is
Feminine. The
feminine.
I don't even
feminine.
know what that means.
The feminine. The feminine male.
He was
Feminine.
I don't even know which window to look out of, the one on the bottom or the one on the top.
Just look at that one right there.
There's a few.
That's where your boat is. Right out there.
I mean, no telling.
It's gonna get robbed.
I would not know where your boat was.
Are you worried about your tackle this evening?
Not at all.
No.
Dude, my door's still wide open.
That's why
I
I'm
didn't
so
even shut my
mad.
door.
I'll go to Florida or somewhere and they're like, hey, you gonna put your rods up? Nah, I'll be alright.
I'm so used to it.
I'm so used to like being in the middle of nowhere.
I didn't even close my door. My truck could still be running. I wouldn't even know it. I filled it up, so it'll be all right.
I have done that once.
Have you really? Left it running all night?
It was like 6 hours. Outside my house. Not even kidding.
Wow.
I went and started it and then like came back inside and was like, oh, I'm not doing that.
But you didn't even
And
fill
then
it up
did
all the
not
way.
even remember. Like literally, like it was running for 6 straight hours.
Really?
Yeah, I ran a quarter tank of gas out. Not my brightest moment.
Look at this thing. Why is it like they got ones that are just tall enough for the house? You know what I'm saying? Like most of them would be this tall, but when you got 19-foot ceilings, they're this tall. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this house fits
that's
you
bigger
though,
than
being
19.
like 7 foot tall.
But yeah, it's too tall for mods.
That's bad when your own partner gripping on you.
I said, man, I'm glad you're so tall.
So you know where the too tall started from? There was a text message going along before you got involved. It was from Melinda and all of them. And I got on there and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have something about too tall bonds, and I put T-O, not T-O-O. And I said, I'm gonna post this publicly and wait for all the Texans to start correcting my grammar about how I needed 2 O's in there. And I was gonna go, yeah, but he ain't big enough for 2 O's.
What a jackass.
Was I in that? Was I in that? Was that was with all of us in there?
Yeah, it was Melinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't know. Like, we gotta at least let them know why we're all here.
So
And I'm not holding this belt. Like, I'm not doing this belt the whole time. It's just too
Well,
heavy.
you
You can
hold
put
it
it on
like
your chair, but
It's
you do
just
whatever.
too heavy of a.
So the Red River Shootout was so much fun that we came up with a
It's not-
second and third derby.
That's not true. Since me and Jason won the event, y'all decided y'all wanted to have a
And
rematch.
y'all want to go best out of 3.
And surprise,
Y'all wanna go best out of 3.
Surprise, surprise. We're in Oklahoma.
If you
drove
watch-
Again.
Yeah. We're up here in Oklahoma. Drove all the way. Had to be on your turf. We have no idea.
No. It doesn't have to be on my turf. We're doing 2 more tournaments, one in Texas on your
Okay.
turf. It just happens to be mine. It came first.
And y'all want to know what lake we're going to? Your guess is as good as mine. He still has not told us. We're supposed to follow him in the morning wherever this place is.
Hey, that's what we're doing.
We didn't even know how to rig up. I was like, where are we going? Don't worry about it.
My stuff is still rigged up from Texoma. Exactly what I had on is exactly what's tied on right
Well,
now.
here's the problem. If you find a bedfish tomorrow, more power to you.
Really? Why? Can't get to the bank?
Getting to the bank will be one problem, and then
Does it
clarity
look like
will be
this?
the second problem.
You said the water looks semi
Oh
decent.
my gosh.
No,
You told me the
you're
water-
You're talking to somebody
I said
that's in
the water-
Oklahoma. Water that looks good in Oklahoma is like 6 inches.
And then, so
I thought we were going to see like a foot or two.
honestly, we're going to Lake X.
I know. Can you see a foot?
Oh yeah, you can see probably a foot and a half, 2 foot places.
That's not bad. Okay. I
You
don't
can't-
want to Dude, the
no.
last place he went is the lake. I caught an 8-pounder. I'm like, what? 3 inches of water?
No, okay. So here's the deal. There's a difference between Oklahoma and Texas clarity of water. So your idea of a foot and a half visibility, I've learned this from living here.
It's looking at his BFE in a foot.
No,
Did you see the 8-pounder? I
No,
caught
no,
something.
no,
His
Did you
is
see
a
the
bright
it
white
was the
chartreuse
color of that
spinnerbait. He's like,
glass.
oh, I kind of see that a foot and a half.
100%. I can see a spinnerbait a foot and a half down there. Oh, that's
With
a
the
foot and a
biggest
half.
orange blade
Yeah.
there
Oh
is.
yeah, that's how they do it. It's not. I can actually visibly see something that isn't easily to
There
stand
is
out.
a bait.
I might be able to see a little bit of a
A
weight
huge
down there.
spinnerbait. Oh, I can see the flash. That's a foot and a half.
So I'm taking y'all to a public lake that I filmed a couple of YouTube shows on already, and I was going to make public, but quite honestly, I got threats, and I don't mean just like threats of, hey, if you let that out. I had a couple people actually send me death threats that I know. They're like, hey, dude,
This isn't the wall, guys. This is a fridge.
what's the fridge?
It looks like a wall.
Todd's never seen a refrigerator before.
Oh my gosh.
What is wrong with me?
He just broke his finger off.
He can't open his beer.
I don't have a fat ring like that.
What?
What do you have? A skinny ring?
The thinner it
It's that
is.
little bitty skinny finger you got,
No,
not your ring.
the thinner it is, the more it like digs in.
Yeah.
All that
Baby
working out
fingers.
you're doing, you need to get some of those deals and make your hands bigger and stronger.
Do you want to know the workout we did the other day?
You need to be doing
No, we don't want to hear about this
You don't.
45 minutes, an
Stupid.
hour-long conversation about a
What did
simple
y'all
workout
do?
you
Put
done.
some bricks on
Honestly,
your bellies?
We'll be sitting here going through it.
No.
No, see, no, hush,
No,
hush.
I'm
Don't
good.
get, no. Cut it out.
He's going to bed.
To be it'll be 5. No, it'll be a 10 seconds.
No, it ain't.
No.
Listen.
No.
Has he ever been 10 seconds?
Never.
Never.
Maybe twice. Maybe twice.
That's horrible.
Maybe. We'll give him.
Dang, homie. I got it instantly.
I'm slow.
Yeah, he was laughing for 10 seconds.
Well,
before
he's
he got it.
fast.
Just got it. He's like, oh, and then he got it. Oh,
Hold 2 45-pound plates in your hands.
oh here we go.
No, walk a mile.
Oh God, I thought we got out of this for
No,
2 seconds.
listen. Walk a mile. Every time you drop the plates, you got to run a lap. That's it.
That's the shortest Todd Castledine story.
I told you it'd be 10 seconds.
It had to be. He had it. It wasn't.
I told you that was the whole workout.
Bonds and I ain't running a mile.
I didn't say run a mile. I said, walk with 2
hamburger down there on night.
Every time you drop
Every
it, though,
lap you get a cheeseburger.
you gotta run a lap.
and a beer.
Yes.
And an hour break.
That's
I can't
right.
believe y'all drug your. I can't believe you're traveling. My girls are astonished the fact that y'all
Hey.
traveling with belts.
Your girls aren't the only ones that are astonished about our belts. Everywhere we go, they want to talk, people want to ask about our belts.
Really?
Yes.
So did y'all bring those as a bargaining chip that like you're gonna pull them up against?
No, they're just letting you know what you're, something to strive for.
Okay.
Y'all don't have turn. Y'all up here fishing for little derbies for I don't even. Do y'all even get trophies up here?
Y'all call them derbies.
No, we
up
just get
here.
checked $20,000.
So weird.
They don't
It is.
Watch about the $20,000 checks. We get plenty of them in Texas.
I mean,
No
there's
trophies,
only
just
one
checks.
derby that I know of, and that's the Kentucky Derby. That y'all call it up here. I don't
And
know.
they drink out of this with big old hats on.
Big hats.
And most of them want belts like that.
No, they don't care about that belt.
They should.
They do drink out of glasses like that.
They die. I've never drank out of glass like this,
Now you have.
and now I have, and I kind of like
He also wore the tiara or tiara.
it.
Tiara.
It's one of the two. It
Tiara,
sounded good.
tiara.
It just depends on what part of the country you're from.
North, south.
Tomato,
East, west.
potato.
Diddy daddy.
Never know.
Diddy daddy.
Diddy is definitely not Oklahoma and Texas.
No.
Dude, oh, by the way, I got the entire.
Diddy. Speaking of Diddy gave me. No, listen. I'm gonna throw this out.
I want to know what
I
this
know this. Here's something I will throw out
Who's
there.
Diddy?
And I will never share with any of y'all. No
Diddy
one.
is?
I will go to my grave on this deal.
Who Diddy is?
I'm going to throw something out there. I am about 98.9% sure that I know who Randy Flowers is. I think I know you personally pretty well. And but I won't even share with y'all. My wife even asked me. I wouldn't even tell her. I was like, dude, it would bury the guy. He's in too deep. But I've enjoyed the comedy and the fun poking. But I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I am pretty sure.
Well,
It's only switched hands like 12 times.
Yes.
unlike everyone else, I have never asked. Like I know 2 or 3 people that 100% know who it, 100% know who it is, and I don't ask them. I don't want to know. Like I do not want to know. I don't even want to have that on me.
No.
I can total deniability.
Yep. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to know. At
Randy
all.
Flat, like I
It
like.
kind of ruins the fun.
I like
of
it ruins
Yeah.
the fun. I like what he's doing. He's semi-cordial with me. I think
He's semi-cordial.
hey, he's had plenty of
I had him stop by my place and
Opportunities.
say a couple of things nicely and kind of flirt with it, and then was in and out. And I was glad that he was in and out and flirted and left.
That's-
I didn't want no issues, but I do enjoy watching.
listen.
this stuff.
If you do everything the right way, you'll never have issues with Randy Flowers.
But
That's all
I'm
I gotta
pretty sure that I have figured out the puzzle.
say. The puzzle.
The
The
puzzle,
puzzle.
You
the
piece it
puzzle
together.
that no one in this industry can figure out. I think that my southern ingenuity, I think I figured it out. We'll put it that way.
On my latest video, Tater made the cut, and then us talking about Wesley Strader.
Oh, Tater
And Brad
Johnson.
like, And Wesley, you know how we were gonna fight Brad Knight and Wesley Strader?
Yeah.
Yeah, that made the cut too. That's in the video. About
That would be a good matchup.
about how Tater goes.
I got
Tater goes, he ain't that big of a guy. Holman goes, well, when you're 6'6", 320, ain't too many guys bigger than you. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I was like,
Tater's a monster.
I looked down and I was like, Tater Johnson's calling you. Don't know Tater. I got to hear about Tater.
Tater was this guy that we grew up with in East Tennessee, and he was the size of a beanpole. He looked like Ichabod Crane. Swear to God, all growing up, he was Ichabod Crane. He's a good friend of mine. He likes
Jason
fish.
has no idea who that is.
I haven't either.
Oh my
Y'all know who Ichabod Crane is?
I don't know. I've like heard it. I heard the names, but I don't
You see how
even.
quiet they got?
No, I didn't get quiet.
As soon as you said it, it was like this. It was like, don't call him. Dude, it was, listen.
I didn't care about
listen,
that.
It was like
I've heard
every
it.
kid.
I've heard
it was
that
like
name.
every kid in the 5th grade, they say something.
I've
and
heard
then all of a
that
sudden
name
you see this
plenty.
kid. You see this kid do this. Hey, you see this kid do this.
Come
all the-
on.
They're like, oh, don't call on me. Don't call on me.
He
They
told me.
instantly, as soon as you said that, their heads went down. They're like,
My head,
nah.
I had no. I've heard that, but I had no idea.
Well, watch
who
it.
in the
I don't
world
like
that
that.
is.
What is wrong with you? Share.
Look at him share with his wife.
Where did you? Andrew.
That's a dang
So the
meat cleaver.
goes to Sleepy Hollow,
Oh,
you
I
know,
know.
that Headless Horseman.
Sure.
All that. Remember all that?
Yeah.
Well, Ichabod was the one that was being chased by the Headless Horseman.
Got you. Remember it now.
Okay.
Yes.
He was
Yes.
a tall, skinny
Yes.
beanpole guy.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Very uncoordinated.
Uh-huh.
So Tater Johnson resembled this guy. 110%. So I was living in Oklahoma. I was
why you don't have
19, 20 years old. Tater's a couple years older than me. And Tater had left home and signed up for the military right out of high school. He'd gone to the military. Well, I hadn't seen Tater for 2 or 3, 4 years. Tater was in his early 20s, and my dad calls me and says, hey, I was going to fly into Nashville to go see my family in Tennessee. My dad calls me and says, hey, Tater's going to pick you up from the airport because he's living in Nashville now. He just got back out of the military and he's living in Nashville. He'll pick you up and bring you home. I said, okay. It's about a 3-hour drive back to East Tennessee. Long story short, I get off this plane. It's back whenever people could meet you at the gate. Remember
Yes,
those days?
yes.
Y'all old enough for that? Andy?
Like
Are
coronavirus.
you old enough to remember that?
Pre-corona.
Pre-corona?
Yep.
This was pre-9/11.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
And anyway, I stepped off the plane
That's legit.
and I'm walking and I walk
Yes, it
right
is.
past people standing there and I hear someone call my name and I turn around and Stone Cold Steve Austin on steroids, bigger than Stone Cold.
It was Ichabod Crane.
It was Ichabod. It was Tater Johnson. I turn around.
No, I mean, like,
you know how many
legit
guys that
Ichabod?
go off to the military and they start eating? They start feeding them?
Yeah.
Oh my God. He was huge. Shaved head, like pulled it all.
Like Green Mile.
Looked just like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just like him. Giant. And that was Ichabod. You know, that was Tater. And so then Tater's on the phone with me and was talking about Brad Knight and Wesley Strader having a throwdown with me and you.
Well, he brought it all.
And I was like, dude, there's no way I would freaking get in the ring with freaking Brad Knight. He's like, he ain't that big.
I said, well, he was talking about going to White's Bar, about me and you
Yeah.
taking him on at White's Bar, and I said, well, afterwards we should just get in a fight too.
Yeah.
Get San
Todd's the
Antonio.
one that started it.
And he goes, me and you will just jump on Brad, and hopefully if we can get him down, we can just
Straight or
Wesley
run.
just run.
Straight or
And he
run.
goes, I don't know if we can both get Brad down. And I'm like, yeah, good point. And he goes, Brad's a pretty big guy. That's what Hallman said. He goes, he ain't that big. Hallman goes, when you're 6'6", 320, ain't nobody that big. I was like, oh, now I know how big Tater is.
Tater's big.
And then you told another story about Tater, and that's where my video stops. Because I said, this is not suitable for TV. You remember that story?
Oh, I remember that story. I was in high school. I remember
There you go.
that.
That's the story that I was not allowed to put on air.
Yeah.
Good story though.
It is a good story. We won't talk about it tonight.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I might put out this video. There's a video out there that is cut. It is freaking probably the best video we've ever had. And no one will let me, I don't even think I should put it out there. You know which one it is.
Yeah, I know.
Hallman's like,
I
can't
don't
put that
think
video out there.
I don't want it out there.
How long is that video?
I have no idea. but
It's probably
all good.
40 minutes, and it's like,
That's all good.
it's probably 35 fish catches. And I mean, I had to put them all in there because every one of them was freaking awesome.
They're all
We
good.
won that event.
That was the beginning
I didn't
of
see
the
that.
band. That was the
beginning of the
beginning
band.
of the getting banned.
That was the first, we won the first tournament. It's all
Oh,
on
I didn't
film,
see that
and I never put that one out there. The second one is the one that's when they banned us. I fished two
That was
team
the
tournaments
final
all
night
year
when they
long.
called.
We won both of them, me and Jason. And then after the second one, they banned us. The first one is pretty good. I mean, the second one, the banned video is okay. The first one was us really wrecking. Was us like doing our thing.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And we won't put that out.
You know, Upshaw and I have.
I might.
We have a
We
tournament.
can't help if we catch that many fish homing on film.
Upshaw and I.
Listen, if
we have-
y'all's 19-minute video tomorrow of y'all catching 7 fish is great. But if me and Jason catch 49 fish tomorrow, we gotta put them all out there on film. We gotta let them know.
Or one of them.
Hey, when you come in second, your video can't be that long.
Hey,
but
so
me and Jason,
we're keeping all the fish though, right? So like we're
all
not
of
using
them.
4
I can't
I
scales.
wasn't even gonna go there.
I
I was
can't
gonna- I
put
was gonna
40.
say-
I can't put 47 fish in a
There
line.
is one tournament trail in Oklahoma. It's a jackknife trail. I'll throw it out there. I don't care. It's a jackknife trail that Andrew and I could go pay our money for. They've already fished a tournament. We could have done one at Texoma just a couple days ago. They've got a couple different divisions.
What? How to fish that one?
Yeah. Because you'd be banned. But we could go make a YouTube video.
Not-
I promise you, they would take our money.
Oh, yeah.
They would take our money. They would take our money. Yeah, they took Darryl Robertson's money.
Oh,
they
they
took
kicked him
Darryl's
out?
money. Yeah, and him and his grandson fished, and then they DQ'd him afterwards.
Boy.
So they'll take our money where we can make a YouTube video, and then we could just do the big "we're banned," or DQ'd or disqualified, or
We weren't DQ'd. We're just banned.
we could do the same thing. as well.
So they'll take your money,
I'm
And
pretty
then-
sure they would
and
take
then-
our money.
and then why they ban him? Why they DQ him?
Same reason you got banned from your Texas division tournament. They don't allow professional anglers.
They allowed us.
They allowed it.
They allowed us in that event.
I'm telling you, they pay our money.
They just the next event.
They
put
got
in-
some really bad
They
feedback.
changed the rules.
Yeah.
They got some really bad feedback after that second turn.
You should have seen the comments, man, on YouTube about how many people were like, they probably banned you because you were using prototype lures, and I'm like,
I saw that.
I was like,
comment.
no,
that's
there was not. There was way more than one. There was at least 10 that said that, and I was like, man, I didn't even think about that, but not quite. It was not what I was going with on this.
You've been using that bubble too much.
But there are a lot more trails in Texas that have rules written, and it starts at Bass Champs. It starts at Bass Champs, and they will not allow those guys to fish.
No, they allow us to fish.
Not in Bass
Not
Champs,
if you're a
pros.
pro. Not the
Yeah,
year.
I-
Not the year that you're a pro.
6 months after.
Yes.
Which basically means if you fish the
I am
fourth-
saying that they
if you
have
fish-
rules written in those deals. The biggest tournaments
But
in
that's-
our state for
yeah,
20
yeah.
grand or whatever, including the Skeeter tournament trail, which is the same as Bass Champs.
It doesn't start with Bass Champs. It's every,
No, it starts with Bass Champs.
No.
Just call them out too. Dude, I'm friends with them.
It's-
I'm freaking go
no, no,
deep sea
no.
fishing with one of them.
I'm not-
Get rid of the damn rule.
I'm not dogging them. I'm saying it's not Bass Champs.
Yeah.
It's every.
Hallman.
It's
Hallman.
every single. I called them up because my little girl, who's at the time 7, wanted to go fish a tournament with me. She doesn't even understand why she wants to fish it. She's like, I just want to go with you, Daddy, and go catch some fish in a tournament, and I want to go across that stage and weigh in a fish. Couldn't find a tournament that would let me and her go fishing.
Exactly. That's my point.
And I was like, look, I have a 7-year-old. We probably won't show up on time. We will get there who knows when. We might be done by 12 because it'll get too hot for her. I don't care if we weigh in one fish, if we can just weigh in one where she can just walk across the stage. That's all I want to do. Well, man, here's some options you might be able to. I'm like, okay, so y'all won't. I get it, I guess, but I had to tell my 7-year-old, sorry, we cannot fish together because no one will allow that. Me and my 7-year-old daughter.
Well,
Reality.
I mean, and I was going, this is ridiculous.
we only have
we only
have one trail in Oklahoma that's that way. And you said you had some feedback on
Oh.
one of your social medias about this, right? Guys,
I think I know the difference.
Oh, everyone from Oklahoma said
Yeah.
Everyone from Oklahoma loves fishing against y'all. They can't wait to pull up their boat, say we beat y'all, or I got beat,
And they do.
and they don't
They do
care.
beat us.
It's awesome.
lot.
There's a respect. Yeah.
But it's
There's
guys
the deal.
that we've
This
fished
is the
against our
deal.
entire lives. I mean, we
fish
know
against
all
them
these
too,
guys.
We get beat 99% of the time.
So
We
why
just happen to win one. and
Why does
the-
that tournament director think, well, I'll draw more numbers if I
and they
disqualify
will.
these three guys?
They will. They will.
They will.
They will. I wasn't mad when I put that video out. Everyone
I
was like,
guarantee it.
"You're
Grand
pretty
Lakes, they don't care.
salty."
Those locals up there, like, you can bring
No.
everyone here.
Everyone.
Sign them up, take
when
their
I
money,
started
we're taking it.
when I started fishing, that's all I did.
I mean, because that's all y'all got locals for Rayburn doing the
I
same
just
thing.
went and jumped in the middle of the biggest tournaments that I could. I mean, besides the pro,
You
know.
still do it to this day, and you shouldn't.
I hear you. But
Dude,
hey,
dude, the
I'm
first
just
tournament,
trying. I'm just trying.
like the first tournament of Rayburn, right? Of the one we won. I'm driving back from Champlain.
Yeah.
I drive 26 hours home, and it's like 7 o'clock at night, and Jason's like, "Come on, man, please fish this tournament with me tomorrow. It's gonna be fun."
Yeah.
And I said, "When's the last time you've been out there?" He's like, "Well, it's been a couple of weeks, but we did really good out there a couple of weeks
I know.
ago." I'm like, I have not been on Rayburn in 5 months. I literally drive 26 hours. He lied to me about the number of fish we were allowed to keep.
I did do
because
that.
I just assumed it was a 5-fish deal. It was a 3-fish deal. Never would have fished.
When you
it.
start idling out and turn, I was like, "Hey, you do know? Just let you know this is a 3-fish deal." Are you kidding me?
Oh, I was so
At
pissed.
first, it goes, I wouldn't have. I was like, "Why don't you think? Why didn't you think I didn't tell you to?"
So we go and, we go and catch them, and we win. And I was like, this was the most, and I ain't gonna lie, I told myself this is probably the most fun I've had all year long. Fishing the team tournament. I didn't even know what tournament it was, didn't even matter. We won like $3 grand. And I was like, this is probably the most fun I've had all year long. Fishing the team tournament with a buddy, just relax, having fun. I've been on the road for 26 hours straight to get home. And I was just going, and they got pissed, they didn't want to talk to us. And I'm like, Todd's out there fishing 8 days a week, 25 hours a day, and I'm like, dude, I've been gone. Like they just assume
That's what happens.
They
when you
just
start
assume
traveling.
I'm out there all the time, and I'm like, guys, we just went out there and got kind of lucky and caught a big one. Okay, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We go out there all the time, and we both fished a BFL earlier this year. What'd you weigh in? 10 pounds?
10 pounds.
I beat you by 1 pound. I weighed 11. And got a check.
Well, it's like
In 85th and in 74th
This
place.
is my deal in
You know what I'm
Texas.
saying? Like,
so
we get
let me
beat all the
let me
time.
bump one for y'all because this is what I don't get.
We get killed all the time.
Well, they're not letting you fish a tournament trail and they ban you, right? But Albert Collins is still fishing that trail, right?
Oh, he even made.
But Albert
comment.
doesn't do anything to fish. Am I incorrect? Albert's not plumbing.
Albert
anymore.
fishes probably Rayburn. I would say
Harold Allen fishes that trail.
No. I would probably say of those people that fish that trail, I would say 90% of them fish Rayburn more than me. Would you agree with that?
Albert definitely gets to fish.
90%.
I would say most of those people, like this is the big.
It might be 99%.
Listen, this is the big misconception is they think that we go out there 4 or 5, whether it's 7, 8 days a week, whatever it is. They think that's how much we fish.
We say 8 days.
8 days.
I
As
don't
a
get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
25 hours a day. Yeah.
378 days
Yeah.
a year, whatever. But people,
The last
people,
time I went was
think-
with you,
people-
and before that was like a month earlier. I've been on the Rayburn twice in the last.
My point being
2 months.
is that I'm not going to worry about DQing you because Albert and the Albert Collins of Rayburn.
What
They can't wait.
What's
to
the definition? To
there's
this?
nothing like me and Albert. We're all cool with Albert.
Yeah.
They cannot wait to get beat by Albert.
Why?
They're like there's certain
I'm
guys out there.
just saying from a fishing standpoint, there's no difference.
I know,
Actually,
but-
Albert should be stronger. Albert is stronger.
Albert is
strong.
That's what I'm
Albert is
saying.
strong.
He should be stronger. So if I'm trying to eliminate
But they
competition to raise my numbers,
They can't figure out.
then
how-
Albert's the one that I should be.
But they can't. It's hard for them to disqualify. It's hard for them to ban him.
All right, so I'm
It's
gonna tell
hard
you,
because like
I'll tell you from
like
a marketing
I had
standpoint.
an easy rule.
Let's hear
to
it from
get
a
me.
marketing standpoint.
From a marketing standpoint, all these tournaments are screwing up 1,000% because the deal is like I'll give you an example. I went and fished a tournament on Toledo Bend last year. I think it was last year.
Oh, I know which one.
Yeah, I remember it was the tire, whatever.
The Despino.
Despino tire.
By the way, Randy Despino, awesome dude.
Awesome guy.
And will freaking take care of you on tires.
Yeah.
Like an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Despino tires.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying like
Yeah.
has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
That dude is phenomenal, awesome dude.
So Despino tire. Me and my best friend show up, fish the tournament. I hadn't been to the lake in 2 years. I hadn't been to Toledo Bend in 2 years. Okay, we pull up and we get second place. Summertime.
Don't even win it.
No, we don't even win it.
Second
We get
place.
second. I caught more hell over that tournament.
You did.
However, and which was crazy. Like I just thought it was crazy. We pulled up first spot. We were wrecking them every cast. But whatever. From a marketing standpoint, I gave them as much or more press than any money they spent for that tournament. Just saying that I was fishing the Despino tire tournament on Toledo Bend than anything they did advertising wise. Anything. Just by posting that I was there fishing that tournament. And I'm not tooting my own horn. But while you would eliminate pro anglers that have the social followings of some people, you, any of them,
Right.
while you would eliminate that free exposure, they're basically paying you to fish your tournament. They're going to promote your business, and you're eliminating that is the most asinine, ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like why you would ever want to, because the deal is, it's like Todd saying, like you hadn't been on the lake in months.
Right.
And I hadn't been on Toledo Bend in 2 years, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm driving down to fish this tournament.
The misconception is that, and I know for me personally, it is not this way at all. The misconception is that, well, they're coming in trying to get easy money to pad their pockets to make more money where they're not making it somewhere else. And 9 times out of 10, or 19 out of 20, that has never been the case for me. My cases have been just like y'all. I'm showing up with, we won one at Thunderbird this weekend. Somebody called me and said, come defend your championship, your whatever we won last year. I fished with a University of Oklahoma football player that, quite honestly, really doesn't know how to fish at all. I mean, and we went, it was a great time, we had a great day. I figured something out, it wasn't the deal in the morning, but we figured it out on the water and caught a couple of big ones. And I was trying really hard to impress him, just him personally in the boat. And we caught a really big bag for any lake, but especially on Thunderbird, and won the event. But it wasn't about, I hadn't been on the lake in literally probably a year before. Seriously, it had been like 9 months, and this was a lake by my house. And it's a small lake, but it was just more about the enjoyment. And it's not even just about that. It's about all the other people, the Ron Shaws, the Kelly Websters, the Daryl McClures. All the people that I have personal relationships with that are some of the best fishermen on all these lakes. And it goes on up to Grand Lake with the Alan Heads and the Wayne Diffees. Dude, I want to see those people. I want to be involved with them. I want to stay at Wayne's house. I want to see LaDonna. I want to see Paul Smith. I want to see these people. And whenever you make this goofy rule that, there's so-and-so not allowed up here, I'm like, dude, these guys are the best on the freaking lake that's ever been, and they live up here. Why are you canning me? I ain't even been here in freaking...
Okay, so here's the deal. For 10 to 15 years, since I was 20 years old, I did nothing but fish team tournaments until 2 years ago. Right? I fished some coasters and stuff, fished the opens, qualified for the leagues, did all that stuff. And I had... If you want to call it making a living, I have scraped by to be able to fish the next year. That was my making a living. I got just enough to where I didn't lose enough to where I could fish the next year. That's I was not raised with a silver, that's all my money was from tournament wins, just to break even almost, just to make it the next year. And dude, I had a blast. All my friends are from fishing.
Yes.
All my buddies are fishing.
And that's
Brent, I fished with forever. He was my best man at my wedding. Me and Jason freaking talk 5 days a week. We don't even fish together that much. When he called me up and said, hey, do you want to fish a tournament? I just don't understand. I was up there. I drove all the way up to Champlain. Didn't get a check. We almost didn't qualify for the Cup.
Yeah.
It was a hard day. My wife flew up there. She flew back. I had to drive home by myself. Get home to fish a tournament where first place paid $3,000. Do you really think this isn't $3,000 for me? This is $3,000 split, minus the entry fee, minus the gas, minus the day away from my family that I have not seen in 3 weeks because I was traveling. to fish a stupid tournament on the 4th of July on Rayburn, and Jason talks me into it. If anyone thought it was about money, they're crazy. I'm gonna win a total of maybe profit if we win $1,200, which I will never, laugh at $1,200. I will take $1,200 in a day. A last place check for us is 10 grand at the tour. And I'm gonna go do, after all that, not see my family, my kids wondering where I'm at, and I'm gonna go the next day go fish a tournament. It had nothing to do with money. Man, dude, I had not been in a boat with a buddy of mine in a year and a half. Me and Russell never fished a team tournament. We weren't allowed. Me and Jason hadn't even hardly been in the boat together. I got to go hang out with, I said, Jason, dude, I don't even care where we go. Like, I ended up running the trolling motor, but I just wanted to go hang out for a day and have fun with a buddy in the boat and fish a tournament. And that's what we did, and we ended up winning. Well, it was just everything you just said.
Speaking of running the trolling motor,
but you know what I'm saying? Like, everything I wanted to do was just hang out with a buddy and go fishing. Because I don't get to hang out with buddies when I fish the tour. We all hang out with each other at night, but we're not in the boat with each other. These are fun. Like, we drove 6 hours up here to do let's call it what it is. It's a stupid tournament between two guys on a lake.
Yeah.
Just so we could all do this and have fun. It was fun. That's what we grew up doing. And these guys are sitting there banning us, and I'll never forget, like, I got some different feedback. I don't want to say harsh, because people thought I was really upset about the whole deal. And I wasn't upset. I just think it's kind of chicken. But whatever. And some guy goes, and I kind of know him, and he goes, banned is kind of a harsh word. And I told Jason this on the way up. He's like, banned is kind of a harsh word. And I looked, and I was going,
but that's what happened.
And I didn't reply back.
But that is what happened.
Because he's like, well, they put rules in there. And I'm like, I know what the rules they did. They did it just for me. But regardless of what they did, when this virus hit, right, and they shut down all these tournaments, and this same tournament director and the same following, and it has been nonstop comments going, man, it sucks not being able to fish a tournament, man. We really wish, we can't wait to fish again. All these comments about all these reasons why they can't fish. And I'm sitting here going, dude, it'll be all right. Like 3 months go by and you'll be able to fish again, right? It'll be fine. We'll make it through. Everyone's talking about fishing these tournaments. And I wanted, and I'll say it on, I don't mind saying it. I'm not going to say it on, type it out there, but I'm like, kind of sucks, doesn't it? Kind of sucks that someone else tells you you're not allowed to fish a tournament and you've done nothing wrong. The government, whoever it is, has told y'all are not allowed to fish a tournament, and you personally have done nothing wrong to make that to where you're not allowed to fish. And I'm like, it does suck, doesn't it? It does suck when you've done nothing wrong and someone else tells you you're not allowed to fish. Don't tell me banned is kind of harsh. I bet you think, now they will never compare the two.
I don't.
But they should compare the two and go, it does suck. It does suck when all you want to do is go hang out with your buddy and go fish, and someone's like, nah, we're just not going to allow you to fish.
Yeah.
It's not a fun feeling.
Well, I mean, that's like the Despino tournament. Like, my buddy Zach, and he used to fish the tour a long time ago.
Zach God.
Zach
Claude.
And I never fished a tournament with him ever because of the tour and everything we had going on.
We don't fish together.
I called Despino up.
Me and you fished together, but me and you haven't fished together until the other day. It was the first time we've been in the boat in years.
Yeah, 10 years probably.
We had a blast.
Yeah. But I mean, like, in that particular tournament, we didn't, like, I called Despino up and I said, hey, can I fish this tournament? I don't want to piss anybody off. I just want to go fish with my buddy. I hadn't been in the lake in 2 years. Like, I just want to go fish a tournament. And he's like, heck yeah, dude, come on. Like, we fished the tournament, get second. I didn't even care if we caught a fish. I just wanted he and I to get in the boat together and fish a tournament, have fun, do whatever. And we just lucked up and caught a good bag. And that's just how it is sometimes. But like, same way as you, like, I just want to go fish with a friend. Like, I don't get to fish a lot of individual or team tournaments or anything else.
I want to throw something out here too, because I want to correct myself what I said earlier for words wise, since this is all going out on public. I call it a jackknife trail, and that's not correct. That's not what I meant by that. That was my word. It is a jackknife rule. I'll stand by that 110%. The jackknife trail is not fair. Shouldn't have said that. No, that's not right. But jackknife rule, 110%. All of them.
We like the trail we were
Well,
fishing.
listen, it's the whole deal, the whole definition. It starts with the definition of a pro. What, you know, the trails consider what a pro is, and to me, that's not. I mean, like I know the ones that were griping about the Spino deal. They're out there on the lake 7 days a week.
Every day.
And they're the ones griping about just because you're
Yeah.
labeled a pro, you know? And that's the same way with you. You know, that's the only reason anybody raised any kind of hell was because labeled as a pro. And there's people out there that's out there on the lakes way more than me, and
I was no
both of
different.
those put together, and that's what they're raising hell about. And there's no reason for them to be raising hell.
Here's the funny thing is, 6 months before I fished the tour, I was not a pro, and I'm not a pro now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing has changed with me, except I'm not fishing the pro event.
Yeah.
But like, am I all of a sudden like, so now I'm allowed to fish events because I'm not a pro?
It's all
Is a
about
pro being
definition.
good? Yeah, it's not about how good you
I
are.
understand guys that have a little club deal.
I
And they fish their
understand
little
that.
club deal and they pay a $25 or $50 membership fee and they have 10 boats and they have rules and there's no outsiders. I get that. But guys, when you start putting on public events and you're paying $100, $150, $200 entry fees at a public boat ramp with 100 boats or 80 boats, anything, you know what I mean? It becomes.
I understood the pro rule of like, I'm fishing the tour and I didn't have a lot of time to go fish local events. I'm not going to fish local events. I can't fish the whole series because I'm a guy who believes in fishing the whole series. Like the TXCTs, I'm like this year, like, hey, we're going to fish all these. We're going to fish all these. We're going to try. Like, I believe in supporting a trail all the way through, not just jackpotting. I've never been a guy.
I second that.
I say that. I went down to LBJ, but once again, that's with Phil Marks, who I've never fished with before in my life. And he was like, hey, we got nothing going on. Would you like to go fish a tournament with me? I'm like, yeah, dude, I've
Is that
never.
Bass Champs?
Yeah, but me and him have never, we've been in the boat together twice in our lives. I'm like, yeah, I can't wait. Like, I've never been to that lake.
Yeah, no doubt.
I can't really call going to LBJ a lake I've never been to jackpotting.
So
Like,
how
I've never
did you
been
get
there.
around Chad Potts' rule on that one?
It's been.
It's already been 6 months.
It's been 6 months, and so I understand the rules saying like, hey, if you fish the FLW, like I get it. Like I'm really not out there to go fish a bunch of team events. Well, we've got so much going on between Costas, Opens, and tour events. It's hard to fish a team event. So I wasn't upset. I wanted to go home and hang out with my family and do other things. But when you fish a tournament, 2 events the year before, and there's no rule in there. And all of a sudden they put in a rule the next year that's like, hey, no pros are allowed to fish. But
If you fished the year before.
But they didn't realize I wasn't fishing a pro event, so they're like, okay, well, let's backtrack it a year. So if you fished in the last year, there's not a single rule in any event I've ever seen that says
That's how the one is.
that
in
backtracked
Oklahoma. It's
it
like
a year.
If you paid over
It'd be
$1,500 entry
Yeah.
fee
Right, but
in
they-
the last 12 months, and you can't fish.
right, and everyone's like, well, that was a rule they made. I'm like, yeah, but they made it as soon as we won that event.
I mean,
They
literally
made
$1,500. If you've paid more than $1,500, then you can't fish, and it's like.
See, they did away with the money part of it, which was awesome about the TTO thing, because that's why we made it a $1,000 entry fee and made the side pot so much. Because the $1,500 rule, you get underneath that every single time. You see what I'm saying? Like, because we think that's such a bad rule that all we're trying to do is have a team event that's actually worth a little bit of money and you can make money. Because I've never understood. I don't know what I'm sidetracked now. I've never understood guys buying $80,000 bass boats and $80,000 trucks and $25,000 worth of equipment and wanting to go fish a $150 event when gas was $4 and all this money. We're like, man, I'll fish 150, but I ain't gonna fish 200. $200 entry fee's too much. So I'm like, you do realize you got $190,000 invested in this, and you're scared to fish a 150 event compared to a 200. That's never made any sense to me, and you're gonna lose money if you win. Because you'd rather fish against 14 guys
The
than.
price of oil stays the same. All of our boys around here, we're all gonna be fishing $20.
Jackpots.
Yeah, that's gonna be $20.
I know it sucks because there's one thing is like me and Jason drove up to Texas home and go, I think we spent $14 to get up here. You know,
Yeah, it was
like,
I was like,
I think something's wrong with
I
this
need to
pump.
bring my 1,000-gallon diesel tank up here and fill this thing up.
Yeah, it was a little.
It was a lot cheaper here, huh?
No, not here. Not here.
Texoma.
Texoma was. We bought it for $1.19 or something.
Gas was $1.19 and diesel was
Here's
like
$1.
$1.88.
Like it's a little bit more expensive here than back home.
$1.88, something like that. That was whatever it was when we was at
saw diesel
Texoma.
for $1.80
I
something here,
guarantee it's $1.75 or so there at Texoma right now.
It might not hurt now, but it's gonna hurt fishing in 6 months from now.
It's gonna hurt our part of the country.
Yeah, no doubt. Tulsa.
It's gonna hurt it. It's gonna hurt it. Just like, you know, if when the prices got really, really high, you know, it shut people down. It's for the opposite reason, you know, when it got up to $4 a gallon.
I just assume
people
I'm gonna
quit
spend a
coming.
bunch of money if I drive 6 hours up here to Oklahoma, and with the both of us coming up here, shoot, I think our freaking KFC was more expensive than our gas bill.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive.
I mean, like I filled up my truck the other day and I was pretty close to emptying it.
Y'all haven't
Cost
got
me
the-
$34.
You haven't got the room and board, food, hotel fee.
No, man, like Sistine Chapel, man.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, dude,
What is it?
don't worry about it.
1 o'clock, and I'm fixing to wake up. I am about to wake up.
You ain't waking up at 1 o'clock this morning because
Not
you
this
already
morning.
awake.
I am. I'm usually about to wake up here in about 30 minutes.
I don't know, man. Guys, I don't know if y'all like this episode. I think it really digs down deep into what we all feel. And there's going to be guys, I think the majority of people with an open mind will understand where we're coming from.
Andrew was very quiet on this episode.
Why?
He was just very selective. in
Did you
his
really not want to get into it?
speech pattern?
You think people won't agree with this?
On what?
He thinks we're whining because we are whining. We're sitting here at the table whining and crying.
I want to fish.
Oh, not about that. No, I agree with like wanting to fish.
I just want to fit. Like people just don't understand. Like
I'm more on the YouTube side of things. Like
well, since we brought up YouTube, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So Andrew is telling us that we're never going to have 5 million subscribers because we're too old.
We're married.
We're married. We have children, and we don't relate to anyone in this country.
basically, you put it very nicely. Sorry, we're pigging out. Hallman's wife just brought us out like
Oh
the
my
most
God.
fantastic tray of food.
Well,
This is better than what we had.
you can't just go there. You gotta go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about our YouTubes and our social medias and our growth and how we could reach deeper and further.
Okay, hold up. We're trying to figure out how some guy who can catch one fish,
There we go.
The Castledine version.
how he can catch one bass pretty much close to the same day of the same lake we go to, and we all catch basically 19 pounds.
The day before, right?
And it's 140,000 views. And there's nothing on there.
Well, there was a.
And there's tons of guys out there that have these these channels, and I don't watch them. I'm not saying you watch more of them, but you point us like, hey, you need to watch this, because you definitely were like, hey, you need to watch this, and I'm like, I can't watch it. I made Jason watch it. Jason loved it. And you just wonder.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating because
It's frustrating. And it's not just that. It's a group of all of it. You know, I mean,
here's what's frustrating for me. And I'll tell you the most frustrating part is I'm trying to do my YouTube a certain way. And my deal is this. Take your BFE.
That's what it's called.
BFE, yeah.
I like it.
you know,
I can sit up here.
I know what my BFE stands for.
Well, that one stands for best flipper ever.
Okay.
So you can take this.
But you can stick it in your BFE.
I like it.
It works
That's
that
right.
way.
I figured that's right. That's right.
So you can take this BFE and I can do a YouTube video on it. And honestly, I could do one. And I could do probably one of the most phenomenal YouTube videos ever on this bait, and I've never caught a fish off of it. And I can tell you what's good about it, how to do it, and everything else about it. And I think guys are doing that, and it's great, right? And this one personally has 0 teeth marks on it. But I don't want to make a video that way. Neither does Hallman, neither does Andrew. Instead of telling you how good this is, and we've had to do this, but I would much rather go out there, never say a word, throw this bait, and go catch 50 fish on this bait. And after I catch 50 fish, I'm like, go buy one of these, or this is a good bait, or whatever you want to, whatever you come to the conclusion is this is the bait. This is the bait I just caught 50 fish off of. It's probably pretty darn good. Instead of telling you, well, all these things about it and what to throw on it and do all these things, I'll get more out of it by putting Hallman on mute and watching him throw this bait and catch fish. Whatever he tells me is great, but me personally, if I see him go catch 50 fish on this bait, it's a good bait. He doesn't have to tell me how good it is. I just watched him do it. And then you got all these other guys, and all they do is they catch 2 fish. They tell you all these things about why you need to do all this stuff. They caught 2 fish out of some stock pond. And we're going to like Texoma, dude. That is a lake. That is all of our videos. I think everyone except one of mine has been on total like local public lakes that anyone can go to.
Lake X tomorrow. We're going to
right.
Crash. It is a public state.
So here's my problem with YouTube. YouTube has been doing is a way for 10 years, and everyone's used to doing it this way, and they want to see videos like this. And I just think the public is missing out on what they should be wanting to, if they want to learn. If they just want entertainment, I can't help them there. I'm not going to act like a goofball and drink a beer and drive around. No, I'm saying drink a beer, drive around and try to catch a fish. Like that to me that's not entertainment. I'm not going to be goofy and run around with my, hat on backwards. And I know. And talking about catching a fish on a bait I made up with a stick of gum, like whatever. So I mean, if you really want to learn fishing stuff, and that's the part I don't get is that some good knowledge is being thrown out there by a lot of guys, but they don't even care about. Hey, I saw you catch 50 fish on that, but I want to hear what you have to say about it. And I'm like, dude, just watch him. Like watching Hallman, put it on mute and watch what he does with the bait, and you will learn more than what he ever says.
But what you said
it.
earlier, what the important thing is not what they're doing with it or the fact that they're catching fish on it, is why. The why is what's important. Why are they using that bait on that particular body of water at that particular time? And they're catching fish. Why did they choose to do that? That's the important.
I get that, but that is 100% not getting thrown. Like
that ain't on YouTube.
No, well, like the other video we saw, I was like, I'm gonna throw this crankbait because.
Well, like you said, you can go to these ponds. It doesn't matter what you throw.
Well, yeah, but we're going down this rocky bank, and it's rocky. I'm gonna throw this crankbait.
And he feels like that's what he's
on this
supposed to do
on this post spawn thing, and I can tell you all these things. I'm throwing this crankbait. It's a hard bottom, and it's post spawn, and blah blah blah. That's cool, man. 5, 8, 10 minutes of you haven't caught a fish, and guess what? We were there the day before. Mm-hmm. They're not on that stuff. Mm-hmm. We just caught 19 pounds a piece, showing you what they were on.
Correct.
But yet the whole video is of all this other stuff, and I'm going, and man,
and quite frankly, Adrian, I showed you what 14 to 15 pounds is all day long.
Right off the bat.
Before you even go do what the 19 pounds
100%. And me and Jason tried to go do it on another deal, and it didn't work. And we showed that. Like we showed that didn't work, so we changed gears and went to this. But the problem is when you do all that, and they didn't catch he doesn't catch anything, and it's the wrong information. No one knows any different. We know it's wrong because we were there the next day, and we're sitting here going, that's not good. Golly, and it scared me because it looks so real. And that's the part. That's the part I have because I don't know what to say. I don't know how to change that. And I'm just telling you, man, it was in all the information. We know it was all wrong in that video that they were saying was all wrong. He was talking about the bite was real tough because they were dropped in the lake. You weren't dropped in the lake.
Dude, I was the one that called you and said, "Hey, you gotta check out this video." This guy was here the day before we were there.
They weren't dropped in the lake.
No.
They weren't dropped in the lake.
They had dropped it though. It had come way down. It had.
But that's not. He was saying they didn't bite.
No, he was there the day before we filmed our show.
I'm gonna throw this out there.
Before.
I'm gonna throw this out there too. So I get a message from a guy. And he goes, man, they had a tournament there the next day. The next day, and he goes,
I know about
16 pounds won that event.
I know about this also.
And I go, I replied back like, yeah.
Didn't he say about 25?
Well, no, I said, yeah, I heard. And he goes, man, I was really expecting him to catch 25 or 28. And I go, and I sat there and I tried real hard. I didn't know how to respond back. And I sat there and I was like, I finally, I'm like, why would you think that? I kind of wouldn't think that. He goes, those are locals that live on the lake, man. And they have this, and brush piles. And I'm like, so? I'm like, he goes, well, I said, I don't think you realize that. And I put on there, I'm like, Hallman, I was like, me and Andrew have been fishing that lake before. And me and Andrew went there 10 years ago and did pretty good. I've gone up there and weighed in 30 pounds before. Jason's won local tournaments. Hallman's won. We've all won local tournaments against locals on that lake. And I'm like, just because we both put up 19 pounds, we both said in our deal, like, we worked hard for it, but like, we put it together.
Well, we knew that it was, they weren't there. What
I know,
we
but we
expected
still
to
caught
see wasn't there.
but we
That's
still
why we
caught
know
it.
there wasn't 25.
But we still caught 19.
It wasn't available.
But we
4-pounders were big ones.
But we both still caught 19 pounds.
But it also goes back to this too, and I told Andrew this whenever we started on the shad spawn down there. I said, if we were fishing against anybody, but these two, maybe Cecil or a couple of others could have been on our opponents, but we could have just stayed with the shad spawn and really just gone to a crankbait, square bill, and riprap deals, maybe even caught another kicker fish.
We got to 16, 17.
And we knew we would have won. We knew we'd have won.
Right.
Yeah.
But we knew at the end of the shad spawn deal, it was like, if there's this was our game plan. If there's anything up and down there at all that we can see,
Right.
we've got to go do it because we cannot compete with your sight fishing if we don't go do it. And obviously we know where
We
it is too.
called out 4 of our 5.
And let me tell
We
you
called
something.
4 of our 5.
And let me tell you something.
But if we would have gone down there and there would have been nothing,
But
we
people-
were going to turn around and come back.
But people have no idea. Do they know it? Like, so on both our videos.
Those are the whys, though, is what I'm saying.
But,
Those are the
but
whys.
no one has any idea how many boats were in that place or in those places.
It was ridiculous.
There were boats
What was
everywhere.
that?
Boats everywhere.
I never saw a person catch a fish. I saw people
We
stop.
had a guy catch a 5-pounder in front of
Did you, we saw guys catch. We saw guys stop on some of the same fish y'all did.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, did y'all catch that fish? We never stopped on it. We didn't even know that one when I was like,
We were discussing a lot of the same fish. You're right.
afterwards, and I was like, yeah, we caught that fish. I'm like, well, me and Jason, y'all had no idea, man. Me and Jason go, we watched the guy sit on it for an hour. Like 3 guys sit on it for an hour.
The one that we saw late, they had caught. That's why that was. Remember we pulled up late?
The
we
4-pounder.
found the two. Remember
Underneath the walkway.
Remember we pulled up there and there was 2 of them sitting
If
there.
you're going on the
We got-
left-hand
Remember
side.
you ran into the bank, you were on trail motor and I was laughing. I was like, dude, you just went right in the bank and you were like, hell, I just saw 2, you know. You
Is
remember
there
we went
one-
in between those 2? He had already caught them. Or they had caught
This is
them.
our second biggest fish. It was a 4 or 5.
That makes sense. Huh?
It does, because then when we got out there, then it was like, it was
She was
gone.
like second or third flip.
Yeah, well, I flipped up in there was 2 of them. There was like a 3 1/4, and that one, and I flipped up in there. I said, I can't see which one's
That's
gonna
what they
eat
were,
it.
about 4 1/2 and 3 1/4.
And one eats it, and it's swimming off. I go, Jason, man, and it's swimming off. I'm like, I don't know if I should set the hook. I don't know which way. He just said it. And I said no. And as soon as she broke water, Jason's like, told you, because it was a big one, you know, and we didn't know. But I was like, well, that was a good one. And that was our second biggest one. It was a 4. That one went 4 or 5.
I'm going to check on the camera and go to the restaurant.
But it's a weird deal because we're trying to do it.
Hell yes.
We're trying to do it the right
I
way.
just want to take it and like hit some. You know, like you see in wrestling, like hit him with the belt.
You hit somebody
Dude, that-
with this,
yeah,
and
you
I
knock 'em out.
promise you,
You're not gonna-
it won. If it doesn't knock them out, they're going to want to be knocked out.
Well, you just gotta watch. I used to watch WCW all the time.
Yeah.
You see, yeah. Dude, you were just eating them sausages.
Look at that.
So It break?
You go get Hunter. Go get Hunter.
I'm going to get Hunter.
He's back.
Hunter's back. Tri-Lakes is back.
That's what I heard.
Tri-Lakes is back.
Got bored.
Tri-Lakes is back.
That's interesting.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yours too?
Mine broke just like that when it fell.
You better go get me some dang super glue.
I got some super glue.
No, Hallman better get it.
Oh yeah. Man,
No, we got this damn awesome snack tray. I took a picture of that. Look at this presentation.
hey, Hallman's gone.
No, he ain't.
Look at this place. It's huge.
Look at that. That's
Wait.
after we
Look at
already
this.
wrecked it a little bit. Look.
You broke it.
Yeah, you broke it. Look, we need some super glue. That red thing, that whole piece fell off.
Seriously, I broke it.
Yeah, look at
Dude,
it.
I didn't mean to do that. Seriously. I got some. I got a glue gun in there. Which is probably how that thing's put together to China to begin with.
That's awesome.
What you got there?
Oh, just pictures of Castledine with this tear.
I just like the little rubies in it.
Well, there's a glue gun. That whole thing's probably put together with a Chinese glue gun.
Oh, I think so. I got 3 others at the
I
house.
tell you what isn't is that.
But
tiara.
we're not the only ones on the subject that we're on, because I know that, and to throw this out there in all fairness, I know that we're all new to YouTube and we're starting. I've seen that Edwin's on there, Skeet's on there, and I've competed, and you guys have competed against Edwin and some of those guys as well. And I mean, he's one of the very best in the world, in the entire world, like top 5, 10 in the entire world. And his YouTube is the same way. And actually, his production of that E project that he's doing right now is absolutely incredible. Have either one of y'all seen it? No. The production of it's just stupid quality. I mean, how good it is. And he's having the same struggles that we are, you know. And
That's because YouTube is
it's different.
different.
It is.
And it's YouTube itself, like how it's run is different. The following is different.
Come on, Andrew. You can't just sit there and
He
eat
just
crackers
gonna
all
sit up
night
there
and not
and
make
eat
a comment.
crackers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, YouTube in itself is, you know how Facebook and Instagram are different?
Come on.
You know how Facebook and Instagram are different?
Absolutely, 110%.
YouTube's different in its own, and let's just be honest, like the age group is different. Is there a single person on Facebook under 20?
Yeah.
Very little.
Very few, because I've got. You saw my girls running through here. They could care less.
My kids have finally figured out that they can get on their deal and they can be like, what was Michael's 5? He was asking for Madison and Trinity. And he was like, play Madison and Trinity. I'm like, I wonder what and it'll pop up on YouTube. This cartoon. You're not getting that with Instagram or Facebook.
No.
But a buddy of mine's 6-year-old was going, he's like, loves to fish, and found one of my videos and was like, he watches my videos, he's 6. He had no idea how to subscribe or do anything, but he figured out how, one of my videos popped up and he started watching, I know him, I mean, it was Easton's son.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't happen with Instagram and Facebook, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a different deal.
No, they're built completely different.
And why people watch them is different. And the whole
Different audiences and everything. It's crazy. I mean, but that's all social network. We were talking about it earlier with TV shows. The difference between TV shows and YouTube shows. It's like comparing apples to oranges. I mean, you have an audience for everything. Rarely do you see an audience that's really primarily like a YouTube go to TV, just like you won't see TV go to Facebook or Facebook go to Instagram. Like, you have this big difference and divide. There's one that's more powerful for every single person out there.
Since this video is basically this whole conversation of this tonight has been us crying, which is not our personalities, but we kind of have been whining.
I wouldn't say it's crying.
It's pretty damn much whining, you know. But I'm going to whine about something else since we're whining. So I'm just going to keep
I would say
whining.
confusion. Like,
So,
we don't know.
so then like D-Lat stuff is really, really good. And he just keeps dropping like, dude, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I mean, we're in this COVID deal. And D-Lat's just bam, dropping. I mean, I'm talking not every 4 days, not every 3 days, like every 2 days. And then sometimes he's just like, I got another one. I'll throw it out tomorrow, every day. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I mean, they're long videos, well produced, edited, everything's just top notch. And totally different stuff. Like one day he's out fishing with his brother, the next day he's fishing with his kid. Then he's doing some lawn care, doing classes on how to plant plants and make planters and do rocks. Yeah,
do
your
that.
stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, I had to send a message. I was like, dude, do you sleep? And he was like, yeah, man, this is like easy compared to what I used to have to do. And I'm thinking, geez. I mean, there's so much work involved in not just filming and editing, or not just filming and making the video, but then editing it, which y'all know this is one, I'm of us three of them that kills me. I'm the slowest every time.
What's funny is I think I'm good and fast. When I say good, not that my production's good, that I'm good and fast. Like that kind of, you know, like I'm good enough to get it done.
It's because you don't edit anything out, just like Andrew and I were talking about. You just film it and then you go, this is it.
You're like, hey,
It goes and it's
check this shit out, guys.
Here's my 4-hour fishing.
Golden.
Here's my 4-hour fishing trip.
I edited out 2 hours, guys. My God, it's so.
You got all of me.
I edited 2 out.
You got all of me. Here I am.
Here's the problem.
All up in.
I edit it so good. Y'all just think that's what goes on.
I know, but then I get feedback.
You don't realize
I'm
it.
getting feedback on my own stuff. It goes, Todd's is the best version of it.
Because I edited it a certain way that y'all don't realize
Like, you
I
didn't
edited
cut
it.
nothing out.
I did cut so much of it out, y'all just
He
don't
cut the
realize.
boat ride out. The boat ride in.
I had so much good stuff in it, I just left it off.
Anything Jason was in, he cut off Jason's.
I put Jason in
He
there.
had to cut
No,
me out.
he put Jason in there, setting the hook, break going.
That was good. That was
That was
good.
actually a great part.
That
of
was
the
good stuff.
video. It was.
That wasn't one time. That was two
Todd
times.
one-on-one. Todd already checked that. And he goes, "Yeah, I don't use that stuff." He said something. He said, "I'm using this new sunlight." You start asking questions about it. He goes, "And I ain't never broke off." And then he goes,
You lost.
"Never."
Listen, you lost our
Never.
you lost the 8-pound first time too. You lost that one first and that one. Yeah, I think you lost another one too.
No, I didn't.
Let me think about that.
No, I did at the very end. I did lose that
Which
one.
one?
The big one. At the end of the day.
Oh, when they were fishing past the time. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, you did.
When they're fishing way past the time.
Oh yeah. Hey, like by the way, can we? Just
I ended up figuring out the problem, but
6:30?
yeah.
Oh, you figured out the problem.
I did figure out the problem.
Let's hear it.
Nope. Nope. But I did figure out the problem.
Oh, we talked about.
Oh, I know what it was. You
I know
need
what
to
it
be
was,
standing
too.
on a cooler, get a better
A
angle.
cooler.
The cooler. You needed that better angle on that hook set.
Hey man, I'm just trying to give my audience the whole view. You know what I'm saying?
All day, every
They
day.
get all the views, I guarantee you. Or most of it.
Hey guys, it's Todd Castledine. Watch me on Raver today. 6 hours later.
Yeah. Watch me on Rayburn.
Now
Jay,
you're-
hey Jason. Hey, we
Me and Upshaw are up here going, watch us on Bell Cow.
Here,
Oh, Kima.
listen, me and
Watch
Jay,
me on Rayburn.
I'm gonna tell y'all.
Like, I feel like you can build your stuff up, and I mean those guys that have like a insane amount of subscribers, or I
Been
mean,
doing it for 20 years.
yeah, they've done it for a long time. They're gonna get the views. They're gonna, regardless if we agree with it or not. That's just, I mean, when you're looking at somebody that has 500,000, 700,000, a million subscribers, and they're getting 140,000 views. I mean, when you look at percentages, they're really not hitting a very good percent of their market. I mean, and when you look at, you have almost 6,000, or did you hit 6?
I don't know, a couple were.
Yeah, so you're almost at 6,000, but your views are at 4,000, 10,000, 20,000.
I agree.
You're far surpassing
Amen.
your subscriber base. So you're doing exactly what you need to do. Don't worry about
I
that.
still don't know. I still don't know if like I think, and I could be wrong. This is just me talking. I still think there's a misconception on what people.
Like the dent. He knocked the dang corner off your table.
He put a dent in the wood table. He put a dent in it. Like you was in a car.
What? And then,
Okay, tell me if I'm wrong.
Wake
with
me
this.
Was that a 12-ounce beer? 6 ounce? Did they get heavy?
Tell me if I'm wrong. And I'm not. Are they looking at our YouTube? Listen, are they looking at our YouTube for all the wrong? Are they expecting something that they're used to seeing and seeing this and not really realizing what it is?
No. And I
No.
think no.
You said no and
no. I want to
but kinda-
explain.
you
I
said
wanna
no
explain-
and yes at the same
yeah,
time.
I know, but I want to
So,
explain.
Does that make sense,
I
guys?
think they're starting to watch our YouTube because they're starting to realize like the amount of information they can learn from our YouTube.
Far surpasses
But they expect.
it to look a certain way.
But when they see what it is, that's what's drawing people in and making them want to watch. So like, you explaining how to catch a fish sight fishing isn't you just going up there and say, "Oh, dude, watch this. Oh, he's turned on. Oh, I got him." Like, there's a difference in the way you explain it and the way the traditional young YouTuber that has caught 7 sight fish their entire life when you've caught 100,000.
No one's watching this probably after an hour. So the select few that is going to listen to this, because when I'm saying this, Jason's going to get really, really mad. On that banned video, at the very end of that video, if you just watch how we catch him, if you watch how we catch him at the end of that video, in the banned video, I don't have to say a word, right? The whole secret is right there, isn't it, Jason? Look, see, Jason don't even want to acknowledge what I'm saying. Because he's so like, he does not want me to say what I'm saying. I don't have to say a word, all you gotta do is watch, and it gives the whole secret away. It doesn't matter, no one's watching this at this point in time. But my point is, am I right? Like, you don't have to really watch or hear what people say. Like you can watch some stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's the
learn.
whole deal. Like, I don't.
But they don't want to watch. Like, I don't know how many times, I did the hybrid hunter video, the one with like Ronnie Moore and some of them.
Yeah.
And they were like, man,
Big time. Yes, I did.
you could have caught that on anything. And I was going, you're right, dude. I'm sponsored by Strike King. I'm coming out with a whole new bait. And I went out there with a different bait and tried to fool you all on this video.
Never does.
Oh yeah.
Man,
I know it's good.
I'm showing y'all what it can do. I'm not telling y'all what it can do.
But I think people are starting to pick up on that.
Maybe.
So like on my topwater video that I just did with you were there. The number one question I had asked, and it was asked multiple times, was what loop knot are you tying, and how do you tie it? Can you show us how to tie it? And that is the big key to that topwater to make it walk that popper so easily is that loop knot, and people are watching it. I don't even tell anybody how to do it or anything. That's the number one question I get. I think people are starting to watch our stuff more than what you think.
Do you know what I care about that loop knot?
Probably nothing.
Absolutely zero.
I know.
You think I'll ever use it?
It ain't for you. I use it to make it work for me. Just like you make other things work for you. Like silver owner hooks on your Bubba. Or hybrid hunter.
Well, that's me and Jason. That's me and Jason trying to still figure it out. We don't know yet.
And
But let me tell you something.
For me, I think here's the deal there.
I agree with you.
I really
No, I
do.
agree with you. But we don't know for sure.
No, no, that's right. We don't know.
We all have our little
Well, look, I feel him.
We all have
Hey,
our
I feel him the other day.
That's
Andrew, I feel him the other day on it.
I did too, and I caught him on it.
And I caught him on it.
Yeah, didn't have a problem catching him on it at all.
Well,
You don't
we
think
don't
you
know.
did.
But see, that's
You
the
don't
problem. We
think?
don't know.
You don't think?
Listen,
you don't
here's
think you had
the thing. I'll get into this. We don't have enough time. Like, when we come out with a bait or we do something with baits, we're not the type that like, man, I just caught 25 fish on this bait. Like, this is the deal. It's like, okay, I caught 25 fish on this bait. What does that mean? Was it the day? Was it this? Was it that? Was it everything? And it might be 6 months later before we really ever figure out like, this is the deal. And so Jason told me some experiences he had with those hooks. And I'm like, I can see that, man. And then that day we went out there and fished it. It was the next week after we won that event. We went back out there and we came in second in that next event and we were throwing it. We didn't catch near the number of fish. The one spot we hardly didn't catch anything. You caught more, but it was like the first one he catches, or not the first one, but like later on in the day, we pull up to a spot, I make a cast, he makes a cast, and he catches one. I'm like, I didn't really cast there. So I don't know if that had anything to do with the hooks. And then he kind of caught more than me that day at times, but then we got in that deeper water, remember, and I got all the bites. And so we ended the day going,
It just makes you wonder.
yeah, we couldn't get a good definition of like, this is a definite deal of Is it
what was happening.
Did you
Like,
happen to
why?
cast in the right spot? You know, because sometimes you just get on where a guy catches 4 or 5 in a row.
Could you
catch.
not just take a black Sharpie and color the hooks?
It wasn't about that. We don't want to do that. It's not about whether or not that to fix
Along
it.
these same lines, I can tell you a story that I had.
It's whether or not what the difference is to make that. When I made the popping perch, I told Phil Marks this when we designed it. And I said, "Hey, the Spro is good. I'll admit it. Like flat out, that's what I used was the Spro frog." I said, "Phil, when we come out with this popping perch, I can't. If I catch 50 on the Spro frog and I catch 49 on the popping perch, I'll never throw this popping perch ever in a tournament. I'll promote it, but I won't throw it. If it catches 49 and the Spro will catch 50, and I told him, I said, because if that one isn't just a regular 2-pounder, that 50th one, it's the 8-pounder. It's the 8-pounder because that Spro is a little bit better and it'll catch an 8. And I said, until that popping perch is better than the Spro, I will never throw it. And when we made it, like that's why we did 14 versions of it until we made it right. And I said, it's better. And people were like, oh, how do you know it's better? Because I've thrown it 1,000 times with people in the boat. I've thrown it. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, and it's caught 1 or 2 extra fish. And those 1 or 2 extra fish aren't a 4-pounder or 5. It's an 8 or a 9. It's the difference between coming in third and getting banned from an event. And I believe that with every bait we do, we try to maximize our baits going, well, why did you throw the 3/8 instead of the 5/8? Because I think the 3/8 got me 1 more fish that day. Yeah. And that 1 more fish might have been a 2-pounder or an 8-pounder.
1 more fish.
And it might have made
matters.
us win Cherokee
Always
or
the
win
fish that
this
matters.
or win Angler of the Year. But it's like, if I can figure out how to get 1 more fish or 1 more bite, it's a better bait. And so me and Jason will continually mess with these hook deals until one of us goes, we're gonna find a day going, I don't have to see any more that day. That day showed us that this hook is better, and I'll go to owner and we'll talk, and maybe we don't have to. Maybe it has nothing to do with that.
That's right.
I can tell
We
you
will have a day the Bubba day when we figured out the Bubba.
the difference that y'all are talking about.
One day it took. One day we were like, this is way better than a rattle trap I ever thought about being.
Larry Ray and I have fished together for 10 to 15 years, and we both threw the same jig, the LBJ, and threw it forever. The only thing different about he and I and what we threw was the plastic trailer. We both threw the same trailer. And it was about this length, and I would trim a third.
What do you mean, like without this?
Yeah, I would take a third
take it
of
out? Okay.
the third of the top of it off, and I would run it so that my hook came right through the head of the eyeballs. Larry would just put the whole thing on. Well, you wouldn't think that would be that much difference, but when you throw one as much as I've thrown it, and the crawls are just like right below the skirt, and then you look at Larry's and his skirts, you know, they're way out there. I mean, it's a big difference looking in the bait profile there.
Sure.
And I am telling all y'all, after 10 years of fishing, like I never saw a day where you could just nail down and go, well, that bait was better than mine, or mine was better than his. There were days where we both caught them, both caught big ones, and like it was just where you put the bait. Like it honestly, as picky as and guys, this is a big difference in this bait as far as the profile and how it looks.
I agree with that.
And it wasn't, the difference is not there. It's not. We've been in the same boat fishing, and one be in the front, one be in the back, flip flop. I mean, just 10 years of tournament fishing together. And would I, to this day, would I throw mine the way Larry threw his? No way in hell. And he never trimmed his once to ever make mine. But dude, we caught the same fish.
I think there's certain baits like that, and I will say this: I'll never forget Russell when we were on Palestine and we were flipping rage bugs and practicing, and we were out there the week before and we were flipping, and he goes, he caught like 5 in a row, 5 in a row on the same bait, and a pincher came off and he flipped up in there and got a bite, and the second pincher comes off. So he's just throwing he's just throwing this. He's like, he's practice. He flips in the next bush. Thump. He's like, I don't even need pictures, and I was just going, shaking my head. But what I'll say to that is I'm not saying the dirty water has anything to do with it, But
The
Jason's
dirty
giving,
water could have something.
Jason's giving me a look of going, and I don't know what he's talking about, but I will say this. How much does color matter on baits? No, let Jason answer this. He knows. Put it on
He
the
knows.
crankbait. Is it like you'll catch 30 and the other guy won't catch a single fish?
No.
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, we know
You
colors.
just said no.
I said no, but I said no like
He knows.
it doesn't, but it
does.
does.
It does. You darn right it does.
It doesn't, but it does.
On Rayburn, there are colors where I will catch 5 to 1.
Here
Well,
is a
sure.
professional
Yes,
angler answer. It does, but it doesn't.
No, listen. Just tell him then. I'll start naming off your colors of your crankbaits if you don't say anything.
Just name them off.
Why does it matter if they're? But it doesn't matter. How can something matter if something?
Yeah, I
doesn't
don't even
matter?
understand this because you know.
Well, you know that's me. That's how I talk.
Does it matter? Well, just explain it.
Well,
You don't have to give away your just.
I mean, it's nothing. I'm not giving away anything.
But does it matter?
Does it matter? Yeah, it matters.
Yeah, big time.
It matters.
Does it matter if this crawl right here has a blue fleck or a red
No,
fleck? in it?
No.
That's what I was kind of getting at. No.
No, baits.
On
I'm talking. I'm
that.
sorry, hard baits and stuff like that.
Yes.
100%.
Hard baits, it does matter 100%.
No,
Even in deep water.
no, big time.
Big time.
No.
Big
There's
time.
a difference between throwing this and a green pumpkin at times.
Oh, well, sure.
There's color hues. There's
Color
different color
hues.
hues.
Yes.
Than flake color.
Like I don't know how many guys. No offense, guys, if you're this, but I'm like, hey, what are you throwing? How many co-anglers have sat in your boat going, is that watermelon or watermelon red? And going, I don't know. And you're like, well, I mean, does it have green flake on it? I'm like, hey, look, dude, you get in the boat with Russell Cecil. He'll have 1,400 brush hogs in there. They'll all be different colors in a bag, and he'll Carolina rig them. And if you just watch him going, what color are you throwing? He goes, I don't know. I just reach in there and grab one. They'll all be different colors. He don't even care. Like he doesn't.
That's Todd Castledine. The first time I ever sight fished with him, he had a bag of
To this
Strike
day.
King rage bugs.
Rage
in there.
bugs. To this
and
day,
it
I
was
still
literally
have
a mixture of every color you could imagine that was a green pumpkin or watermelon hue in one bag. And I'm like, what are you throwing? It's like, I don't know, just grab it every time, every single time.
Still to this day, I don't care.
Now, deep diving crankbaits, though, to Jason's point, Toledo Bend, I'll tell one of my.
Oh, look, he knows.
To me, there's a difference between Tennessee shad and citrus shad. You know, I mean, I can go to Toledo Bend and you can go throw Tennessee shad behind me. You can go throw sexy shad, but you can throw whatever the hell you want to behind me. If I'm throwing citrus shad behind you, in front of you, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna wreck your face in. Like it's not even close.
Look, Jason hates doing one thing. That's coming over to my house. And he's like, you got this color 6XD. He just hates it. He's like, thank you. Yeah, I mean, because he knows he's giving away the color, and I'm like, oh, I guess that color's working.
Yeah.
Now I don't care.
No, that's right.
But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because I still throw what I want to throw, but Jason's like, I already know. It's like, no, you need these? Nope, I just need these. And I'm like, okay, because he knows. I know he's because we all done it. We've all thrown the hybrid hunters. Freaking, I'll admit it, it's freaking huge. We've all seen it. All of us have seen. Not you. All of us have seen it. And it's huge. But
I've seen it longer than these guys probably.
But it's so big of a difference on that frogs. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
At times is
At
like
times.
night and day. And
Yes,
I'm not
at
talking.
times.
Rayburn is probably the least where it matters. But man, you get to some of these other lakes and it's like insane.
Let me
Water clarity has a lot to do with it.
let me tell you about one instance.
Water lakes in general, like
Yeah.
the whole June bug thing in Florida is not a myth. Like the whole red bug in the summertime.
The black and blue works in Florida as good as June bug.
The black and blue in Oklahoma is like phenomenal.
It is.
No, but
To flip black and
I
blue
wanna-
anywhere in the country is good.
I want to tell you about one thing that happened to me on Potomac River a long time ago in a tournament. I had a co-angler. This is when we still had co-anglers on tour, and he had a red hook. And I've always thought it was the dumbest. Like
I know.
literally make fun of people. He gets in my boat and he has a red wide gap hook, and he puts a June bug Cinco on it. It's just a June bug Cinco. I'm throwing a June bug Cinco as well. Same line. I mean, literally the exact same line. It was Seaguar 15 pound. Exact same line, same brand of hook, same Cinco. And
different color hook.
he is literally catching 3 or 4 to my 1 behind me. And I'm like, I had 1 pack of red hooks in my boat. I don't even know why. You know how you just randomly find one? I had 1 pack of red wide gap hooks in my boat. I tied that thing on, and I literally started wearing them out. In the exact, and if you had never fished Potomac, it has a lot of shallow hydrilla, that kind of stuff. And this was a hole in the hydrilla, like this one big hole in the hydrilla, and you're making this area cast about 40 foot wide. So you're not fishing a big area. And I went through the exact same water I literally just fished in 5 minutes before, and I was catching every single cast when I could not catch a fish with a black hook. So to Jason's point, I do think hook color makes a difference. Charlie Campbell, I think is his name, was the spook king. I was telling you about the other day.
Tell me about it.
He threw, his whole deal is he was one of the first people fishing a Zara spook a long time ago. He would throw a black Zara spook with gold hooks. That was his favorite color combo. And on white, he would throw black hooks. And he had this whole hook to bait color ratio built up to where he knew what exact color hook that he needed to throw with that bait to get the most bites.
Now, the only thing I'll say to everything we're saying is I always back it up going, it's still fishing. And what you caught on your red hook now, you can go back up there and
Might not ever get a bite.
And it might be the worst thing ever, right? And because I think it's constantly changing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand why I would like to say maybe it's pressure or maybe it's like times evolve. It's just like.
But how could it be pressure when fish are
being
born every day?
I know, I get that.
We talk about that
The swim jig, on Rayburn.
Yeah.
I've still yet to figure this out because
The spinnerbait.
No, yeah,
Oh,
but
the spinnerbait. No, it started.
I threw the swim jig on Rayburn before anyone ever
I
started
get it.
doing the swim jig.
I get it.
I
know.
way before, and I kept it a secret for a long time. Dude, I will not hardly pick up a swim jig on Rayburn because you cannot catch a fish. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. There are 2 pound fish that just got born 2 years ago that have probably never seen a swim jig. Why won't they eat it?
Exactly.
So I don't understand that part of it.
That's the part that confuses
someone's
me.
going to be like, well, you can't catch a fish on a swim jig. I didn't say I couldn't catch a fish. There's a difference
But
between
they
catching
didn't
one and
realize-
catching fish. I was catching so many when everyone was rattle trapping. And I was the only one. And this is back
On top of my enchilada?
in the 2000 zeros.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
this
gonna
is
say, it's
before.
like 15, 18 years ago.
Yeah, this is like 15 years
Can
ago.
you
but-
imagine that's when, like, we fished together in like 08,
Yeah,
09.
cheese on ham.
-ish.
I was before. I mean, I had it secret for a long time.
Yeah.
And
I
now
mean,
I will not even hardly tie one on.
I remember the ratio you had. So like
That's weird.
swim
I
jigging
tell
back
you,
in the
weird.
day,
Weird.
you didn't get
Weird.
if you could only count on a swim jig in a tournament on Rayburn if you were getting 50 to 60 bites a day.
Yeah.
That was the only way you could count on it because you were only going to catch like 6 to 8 of the right ones if you got 50 to 60 bites. There was a time that that's what it
Yeah,
was.
sometimes they got
Boys,
big.
we got to fish tomorrow. It is now officially 1:30 in the morning. I have the best wrap up of all time.
Okay.
Did you know that he does not like cheese?
Yes.
Certain kinds of cheese.
All kind, or mayonnaise.
He
or all
likes
kinds.
anch-
not mayonnaise.
He likes,
Hell no. Tomatoes.
he likes
most of the
grated
time.
cheese on his enchiladas. Got to be on top, but not
Hey.
inside the enchilada, right? Can't be in it.
Yeah, it can't be in it. It's got to be on the outside. And it's
Dude,
got to be grated
listen.
grated melted cheese.
Listen.
He likes
Not-
cheese on a
not
pizza.
queso.
But he don't
Listen.
eat cheese on a cheeseburger.
Listen, I hang out. Listen, me and Jason are cool with.
What a better way to close the show.
Listen, 90%. Like, I'm not very good with people like that. They're all picky and stuff. But now that I have kids,
I mean, I'd make him hitchhike back to Texas.
yeah, but I have kids now, and so like I just treat them like my 5 and 8-year-old. Like I'm used to it. Like give them some chicken nuggets and a freaking Big Red,
Hey, I'll be
and
all
we're
right.
good.
I'll survive.
Look, Big Red
Survive.
all day long.
All day long.
Give them some
Big
chicken
Red.
nuggets. Chicken nuggets and a Big Red. Hey man,
I'm
him
good.
and Michael,
I'm
him and my son
Best
can sit down
friends.
at the table,
BFFs.
BFFs, and they can sit down. 2 tall boys and little Michael, they can sit down and freaking eat lunch together all day long.
That's right.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets and a Big Red. No cheese.
Little Michael will be his height in about 3 more years. So.
Little Michael
double
be whooping up
cheeseburger.
on him.
No
Little
double
Michael couldn't wait.
I ate a double hamburger, no cheese.
Michael couldn't wait to see you
No
today.
cheese, it better have mustard if it's got mayonnaise.
Hey,
I'm taking it back. How many times have you seen me take hamburgers back because it's got mayonnaise? I ain't eating no mayonnaise. I ain't eating no cheese.
I'm gonna start calling you Jeff Sprague. Just throwing that out there.
Regardless, I
Nancy.
ain't eating no
Nancy.
mayonnaise and I ain't eating no cheese on my hamburger.
And to clarify, Jeff Sprague, he is. I call him
Is
Nancy.
he picky?
Oh my.
I'm trying to. think
No,
about
it's
that.
not picky. He just doesn't like bad service. And he,
Oh. Yeah, I can
and he
see
will
that.
send his food back if it's late.
Really?
In his mind, if it's late, he will send his food back.
If
And
it's
I
late.
call him a diva because he goes full Karen mode or Carl mode.
He's
whenever it comes to
straight
food.
Carl.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna have to call him.
He
up
won't
on
even
that.
eat dinner. He'll be like, I ain't eating it. Ain't eating it.
If it comes late.
Oh yeah, if it's like 5 minutes later than what he expects it to
Well,
be
he
there.
expects it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a shit as long as it comes right.
That's where I'm at. I'm just like, I'm hungry.
Yeah, just don't come with mayonnaise and cheese. Other than that, you don't get.
I don't know
That's
if
right.
I've ever
That's
sent
right.
anything back ever. I'm just too
Oh, I
hungry.
guarantee. Hey, the
Just like
first
this, I
time,
asked
the
him, I said,
first
would you like some
time.
cheese? He said,
Listen
"No."
to
He
this.
says, I don't like
After,
cheese. I don't eat cheese. I was
I don't,
like,
I don't eat
I don't know
cheese.
if maybe it was 2013,
We're at
14.
or
No, Cheddar's. First time we ever went out that me and Jamie went out to eat with him and Brittany. And I think it was Cheddar's, maybe it's Olive Garden or whatever
I'm
it
trying to
was.
remember.
You know,
I can't remember.
No, you will. I guarantee you. So we order. This guy
Strips?
brings our food. I ordered baked potato. I don't want no sour cream on my baked potato. Don't want it. Not gonna eat it.
Hey,
I just grabbed it. He goes, here's the baked potato. I grabbed that baked potato. I said, I don't want it. I did. I don't want no sour cream on my baked potatoes.
Like, didn't he?
And they
He's like, I don't want that. And he put it up there and I go.
put it on a tray.
Brittany
I was
and
like-
him look at me
I was like, well, man, that's one way to do it. I mean, like, he goes, I don't want that. And he just hits, like, he
Ain't
didn't even
gonna
know what
have
to do with it. He's just, the waiter's got
He is
a baked potato in his hand.
So you were really frustrated with the waiter not listening to your request.
God.
or whoever the hell put sour cream on that baked potato.
Nancy.
That's who I was frustrated with.
Nancy
I
over
ain't
there.
Dude, because no one picks up a baked potato with their hand. And it was just like,
Yeah,
it'd be like
yeah,
grabbing
they
an
do.
enchilada. Just
That
grabbing
is-
an enchilada and be like, I don't want this enchilada. And just hand it to him and I was like,
Chicken in this enchilada.
yeah.
It's got cheese on it.
That's cheese on it.
It's got cheese in it. Not on it. I'll eat it on it, but not in it.
Because he was so different. Like the guy didn't even get the plate down on the table. He's like, nah, I don't want this potato. You got it.
They looked, I guarantee you,
Oh,
him and Brittany
man,
looked
I
at each other
remember
like,
that
who in the hell did
I
we
was
just
like,
come
it's
into?
just that, like, you could have given the. And Jamie's like, I can't take him anywhere. I can't take him anywhere. And I was like, oh yeah, here we go. I remember that now. Because I was like, I don't know where you're going with
I
this. I
can
remember that.
see why you have a lot of nicknames.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Makes a lot of sense.
Hey, we're gonna have a good day tomorrow.
That's right.
He'll sleep 34 minutes.
Guaranteed.
Ready to go.
He's already up for the night, so he didn't have to.
Hey, I brought my jersey this time. No, I didn't.
I was really hoping.
No, hell no, shit, no.
That would have been perfect.
I thought about it. I went in there.
I think you should wear.
When I went in there and
All that cheating
started.
you did last time. I think you should wear my jersey.
Oh,
And
they
Todd should wear Andrews
Oh, the,
Why we won?
because you cheated through 3 different. Well, let's see. I got 3 scales in the boat. No,
Oh,
don't weigh enough.
I
on
think
one.
this
Oh,
weighs
No, look,
12
Todd.
pounds.
He weighs more on this one. Oh, we caught the same fish twice. First time we caught him, he weighed 3.1. This time he weighs 3.6.
Oh.
That's 3.6.
Hey,
Help out.
hey,
That
I
was
picked that thing up.
You didn't even realize y'all caught the same fish. I realized because y'all were trying to catch a female. I knew what was going down. Y'all was trying to catch a big one.
Yeah.
You're sitting there looking at her, and she got a male with her. And y'all are like,
We might have hooked it 3 times.
pow! You catch it. It's like it's the male. It's like, oh, she's still up there. So you let the male go. It's 3-2.
It was
You let the
3-5. It was 3-5.
And you go fishing for it again. You're like,
That 1 ounce made the
oh, I
difference
got a
between win
pound.
and lose.
Comes back in. It's like 3.8. You're like,
It was 3-6.
yeah.
It was 3-6. It's only an ounce different.
But
It was teetering.
As soon as it came,
It might have gained a little weight. We don't know.
when it
might have
came across the
crawfish
gun
down there.
wall of the boat, they were both like, they knew. They were like, caught that sucker again.
Yeah.
Oh,
also,
we knew we
You
caught
knew
it.
we weighed that bastard. We weighed that fish twice.
I ain't my first time bass fishing.
Let me ask you a
I know
question.
what the hell's going on.
Let me ask you a question.
Also knew when y'all were locked up and we had y'all beat and y'all put us into extra hour to try to win because the damn derby should have been over 3 hours before you caught that one twice and got to weigh it twice.
Well,
More or less her female girlfriend.
We had our weight. We had that weight.
Oh,
we
that's
had
what y'all.
beat.
Oh, yeah, that's what I
We
heard.
thought that.
We had that. What?
We caught that male really soon before y'all ever talked to. We said on
You
that
shouldn't
big
have
one
even
for a
had
long
time to catch that man.
Yeah, no, y'all had called first.
It was over.
No, it was not over. They had
Dude,
not
it was
called.
5:30 or 6
Jason,
o'clock at night.
no, we caught that way before that. We sat on that fish for a long time.
Our scales were light, and then
What's sad
we had
is
that thing.
the fact of how much weight
Scales
we
were
lost on the first one.
Todd weighed one in the video and he weighs it. You weighed it. You gave a weight out loud and y'all kind of corrected and went to the scale you wanted.
No, we
And
didn't.
Todd makes this look on his face and he goes, "Yeah, that's a 2.9."
No,
And he's
no,
like, "That's
hey,
son of a bucket."
no, Jason, here's the deal. It was the one underneath the walkway.
Yeah, I know.
And he goes, you gave
It
him
was
a
a
look.
211.
It was a 2-pounder.
Yeah, it was
our
211.
number
It
five.
was 211.
No.
You want me to show you?
Yes, I got it.
It was
It was
a
a
14
2-2. It was a 2-2.
Barely nailed.
It was a
This
one-
is when my co-angler,
Yeah.
because he was doing
It
co-angler
was a
stuff.
2-2. It was a 2-2.
He retied.
Tomorrow.
He retied. And
Tomorrow.
that's when we got
We're
to put
keeping. We're
Jason,
keeping five.
it was our number 5th one. It
We're
was a
waiting
2-2.
for five.
It was our number 5th one. It was a 2-2. Remember, and we were laughing because I caught it.
Yeah, he didn't
With
put his
no
weight
weight.
on his bait.
Like,
He put his
so,
weight-
hey, so when I put it up in there, it just goes up there and he goes, and she goes up there to eat it, and Jason's like, and I'm like, dude, she's gonna eat this thing, because it would never get down to the bottom. And so I flipped up in there, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't want to catch it over that pole. Like it's so stupid, it might just eat on the other side. So I flipped up in there, and it just sit on the water because it had no weight. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Jason's like, I can't believe people are walking by. There's people behind us. I smoke on it. That's number 5. We needed 5.
We did.
And at the time, it was pretty late. And we get him in, and I give him a look like, I just caught this thing with no weight on it. And people were like, I told you there's a fish up there. Like people were talking about how.
He didn't explain to you 30 minutes before he missed this.
No, I put that on
the
video.
guides. The guides.
Not surprising.
No, it was not surprising.
Yeah, it's pretty. Hey, you weren't just great all day either.
No, but at least I went through all of my guides.
All right, let's go to bed.
Old man's tired.
Oh man, it's tired. I gotta shut garage doors. And
I'm gonna have to edit freaking stuff, like 3 hours of half this stuff.
When? Tonight?
It's just typical Castledine, dude. Put on. It's 2 hours.
You ain't editing 3
wow,
hours.
you got
3
3
hours.
minutes.
Bathroom, man.